with a WWE Hall of Famer turning down a match against Ric Flair and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John and you're watching the Wrestling Report for May 18th. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at WrestlingHubOfficial and also follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. With the Women's Tag Team Champions relinquishing their belts and walking out of Monday Night Raw this week, the belief is that Sasha Banks convinced Naomi to walk out of the company. When it comes to the two having heat, Ringside News said we can confirm the big heat on Sasha Banks backstage in WWE is legit. In fact, we were told that Sasha is not well liked backstage in WWE. At this point, she has alienated everyone backstage. On the other hand, we were told that Naomi is well liked. On Wrestling Observer Live, Brian Alvarez noted that not many people backstage in WWE are sympathetic to Banks and Naomi for refusing to wrestle that night. Both of you are going to be headlining a pay-per-view and singles championship matches, and you walked out over that? What? This is your job. You're not really the tag team champions. It's fate. You were chosen to walk around with these two belts and do matches. Now they've come up with another idea to position you in a top position. They would have been in a top position on television for weeks, setting up angles. Sasha would have laid out Ronda Rousey. I mean, all of that. They do all of that stuff leading to matches, and that was creative that they decided we're walking out of this company over that. So very, very non-existent sympathy for Sasha Banks and Naomi. What do you mean bad take? I'm not even giving you a take. Why are you even mad at me? I'm telling you exactly what I've heard from multiple people within the company. Just prior to the walkout on Raw, Sasha Banks made an appearance on Cold as Balls with Kevin Hart, where she had this to say about her being respected by WWE. I feel like I definitely get the respect I deserve in WWE. To be a woman and to main event, wake up, that wouldn't be possible. Now we are here doing it, and to be a part of that is so incredible. When it comes to accusations of Sasha convincing Naomi to walk out with her, Naomi's old partner Cameron told SE Scoops that Banks manipulated her. My girl Naomi, she wouldn't do this, and I feel like she wouldn't do this unless she had someone manipulating and telling her how to do this. Let's best believe, if I was here, coming as a Funkadactyl, we wouldn't have this happening at all. Again, Sasha is Sasha. You have Snoop Dogg as your cousin. You're a top athlete. You can do whatever you want to do. You can literally say what you want to say. Do what you want to do with no repercussion. And if you're a star athlete, I feel like she can back it up. The one thing that she can do is she can back it up. It's not like, oh, she can have all these people who can back her up without having the talent to do so or the beauty. Steve Carrier would add in regards to this, we've asked around about the current Sasha Banks and Naomi situation. The general feeling is that Banks has far more heat than Naomi. In fact, we were told that Naomi is still very popular backstage, and many people feel Naomi was manipulated by Sasha into walking out. With their futures in WWE in the air, Brad Shepard reported that Naomi and Sasha Banks are now off live events through July. Former WWE producer Road Dogg on Busted Open Radio would call this ordeal a publicity stunt to try and add some heat to the women's tag title. Also on Busted Open Radio, Bully Ray would note, hey, maybe this is all one giant story to split these girls up and get Naomi into the bloodline. Don't know. If it's a work, I love it already. This is Heyman-esque level. Pay attention to details work. On his podcast, Raw commentator Jimmy Smith recalled what happened in real time and speculated as to what's next. We sit back down and just a few minutes into the show, hey, big change. It's Asuka versus Becky Lynch. Our whole show format, they all had 6-woman tag in there, all of them. As we went through the show, they changed those to Becky Lynch versus Asuka. You don't do that last minute, folks. You don't voluntarily change something huge in the main event. All your graphics have to change. All your segments have to change. All your timing changes. Everything changes. You don't do that, oh, because we felt like it. That does not happen. So where does that leave them? It's hard when something like this becomes so public. I don't know Vince McMahon personally. I'm in meetings with him every week, but I don't know the man personally. I know what you know, which is get the events that we promise the fans, then we will deal with anything else no matter how difficult, no matter how dramatic the problem is. Get the main event that we promised out there for the people. That didn't happen last night. So when you look at it that way, how do Sasha Banks and Naomi come back from this? I don't know, because this is not, if this were inside baseball, if the WWE had never released a statement about this, I would not be talking about it right now. Wouldn't be a public issue. You know, like, that's behind the scenes. I generally don't talk about behind the scenes stuff. I don't give away angles, any of that. This is now incredibly public in an almost unprecedented way. Talking on the sessions with Renee Paquette about his departure from WWE, AEW's William Regal revealed, "I was expecting it, to be honest. It makes perfect business sense as well. You can't have somebody else come in when everybody there is still coming up to me and asking me what should they be doing. It was the perfect storm." And then Triple H got ill. Speaking about AEW Dynamite last week, where CM Punk faced John Silver with Hangman Page on commentary, Jim Cornette said on his podcast that Tony Khan should make Punk the champion. So my question is, unless somebody has suddenly come to their senses and decided, okay, Adam Page, meh, CM Punk, big star, let's put the belt on Punk. Unless they have just decided that, how bad a mistake will it be to have CM Punk versus Adam Page and have Punk fail to win the title? Not even do a job. Just somehow fail to win the title, much less do a job. On the Superstar Crossover podcast, AEW star Wardlow spoke about tuning into WWE for the first time since Cody Rhodes made his comeback. I mean, I'll be honest, you know, I mentioned Cody. I feel like him going there has been the reason I've kind of watched a little bit, because I got into the business late. I really don't have that many friends. I don't have many friends in general, by choice. But I really don't know that many people over in WWE, so I don't. There's nobody I watch on WWE that I know personally other than Cody. So him going back has caused me to watch a few things, just to see what he's doing over there. Speaking about an ex-WWE tag team in FTR and their influence on AEW, Wardlow said, "They are huge mentors of mine. I will be thanking giving my gratitude to those two men for the rest of my career. Dax is somebody that is very to himself and he doesn't give out compliments often, but when he sees something in someone, he does offer his knowledge, and he has an abundance of it. Cash and Dax, and even when I was in the Pinnacle before Spears lost his mind, they took me under their wings and taught me so much and continue to this day." With Inside the Ropes, former WWE star Enzo Amore recalled an argument he had with Vince McMahon over a promo he did not want to do. "Me versus Big Cass at Great Balls of Fire. The entire timeline of our feud lined up with That's Life by Frank Sinatra. Riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm going to change that tune when I'm back on top. Back on top in June. And if nothing's working come this here July, I'm going to roll myself up in a big ball and die. It's like me and Cass break up. We're riding high in April in WrestleMania, shot down in May. I'm found backstage, but I know I'm going to change that tune when I'm back on top of a big show in June. July, you know, me and Cass wrestle at Great Balls of Fire." So that's what I used in the promo, and I had to fight tooth and nail with Vince McMahon, who handed me this shit promo. This writer handed me a shit promo. I marched into Vince's office at Great Balls of Fire, and I said, "I ain't saying this. This is what I want to say." He didn't like it. He didn't want to do it. I fought again. And Vince said okay. And I went out there and I delivered what I believe to be one of my best promos ever. 4 years since his release from WWE, Enzo had this to say about a potential return. "You know, I'm really happy and looking at where my life is and where my career has gone in every wrestling signing that I go to, you know, I get great fans that I owe the world to. So I'm in a good place right now. I think Cass is in a great place right now, and I don't know if I'd be eager to enter a go f yourself environment. So, you know, like, you got to be ready to do that, and if the opportunity called, like when I feel the phone call, I don't even know." On the DDP Snake Pit podcast, Jake Roberts claimed that Ricky Steamboat was having health issues and said he hoped it wasn't from the DDT he gave him on concrete back in 1986. Talking with High Spot Superstore, Steamboat assured fans he's okay. "Let me just be clear about something. After Roberts went up there and said I've got health issues, everyone has been asking me, are you okay? I just want to assure everybody that I don't have health issues. I'm 69. I just have the normal stuff. A little arthritis in the shoulders and knees from years of wrestling. I do a physical every 6 months, blood test every 6 months, and my doctor is surprised at how well everything is. My cholesterol, blood pressure, liver, and all that stuff on the inside that you can't see is healthy. My doctor says I'm like a 35-year-old. So I just want to make it clear to all the fans out there that the Dragon is fine. I still train 2 times a week, my wife and I bike 3 times a week, so I'm good. I really am. I think maybe he was making a reference to the time he DDT'd me on the cement floor. Some fans asked him about that. I got a concussion from it, but I have no after effects. During that same appearance, Steamboat revealed that he was offered to wrestle Ric Flair in the Nature Boys' final match at Starrcast V. As he said, "Well, I was approached and had given it some serious thought. A lot of respect to the guy in the ring. I thought about it for a week and just recently declined. I know when I wrestled Jericho at WrestleMania 25. Then we had the return match at Backlash and a singles match. But at 69, I know it's a 6-man tag and I could get a little of this and that in. But with all due respect to our fans, I want them to remember me that last time I was in there with Jericho and they chanted 'You still got it.' I don't want to scar that phrase. I don't want to tarnish the memory that the fans have of me. It'd be a good payday, sure, but I don't want them thinking maybe he should have stayed retired." Also at the Starrcast event, the Four Horsemen will be reuniting, with Ric Flair writing, "The last ride for the Horsemen happened Saturday, July 30th at the Nashville Flair grounds. This will be the first time we've all been on stage at the same time, and this will be the last time. But remember, the Horsemen are forever." And this was your Pro Wrestling News Update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you later.